So Jorge Masvidal just went after Chael Sonnen on the MMA Hour interview that he had with Ariel Helwani. He trashed Chael Sonnen in defense of Ariel Helwani, I guess. And then Chael Sonnen went absolutely 10-7 mode on him on Twitter. And I thought this was a really fun video to get into. So that's why I'm making it. Why not get into more drama involving Chael Sonnen and Ariel Helwani, fueled by Jorge Masvidal on the interview. I'm going to play you what Jorge Masvidal said. Then I'm going to go through Chael Sonnen's tweets and we're going to read them. He cooked him on a few occasions, by the way. And I'm going to pick apart what Jorge Masvidal said in the interview as well. Let's go through it right now. Have a listen.
Yo, I see you beefing with everybody, man. What's going on?
No, we're
everybody
good.
wants you now, huh?
Listen, you come at the king, you best not miss.
Such a lame line. Stop saying it. You're not a king, you're a worm. Just saying. So I have to get out of my... Anytime I hear him say, you come at the king, you best not miss. You just been doing it longer, dude. You ain't no king. I mean, it's so annoying when he says that, dude. Fuck Ariel. Sorry.
Yo, I see you beefing with everybody, man. What's going on?
No, we're good.
Everybody wants you now, huh?
Listen, you come at the king, you best not miss.
Damn right. And look, anyways, Chael's a bitch. I mean, he knows it himself.
Oh,
That's the dirtiest fighter that ever lived. He got popped with like 9 substances, still couldn't win the title.
Now.
You know that guy's sore.
This is the weird part to me. Now, Chael did pop for PEDs and admit that he took them. Everyone kind of was back then, but it's still bad, and I understand why Masvidal would be angry at him. Masvidal praises Jon Jones nonstop as a great fighter and stuff like that. Like, people in the MMA world really do pick and choose who they go after for taking PEDs. My honest opinion. Like, there's been people that Masvidal respect in the game, including Jon Jones, by the way, that all of a sudden he's okay with, absolute greatest fighter of all time. What do you mean 4 failed PED tests and the testosterone of a castrated male? He's a great fighter. Go. Absolutely love Jon Jones. You know what I mean? Just because they met them in real life. And he's calling out Chael for doing it as well. But absolutely understandable. You're allowed to call out Chael for taking PEDs. He did do it. And if Masvidal didn't for his entire career, absolutely justifiable anger. I just hate it when these guys call out one person for PEDs. And in an interview down the line after Jon Jones beats Stipe Miocic, Masvidal be talking about what an absolute GOAT he is and how he's the greatest fighter of all time. Like, people really pick and choose, especially fighters, who they get angry for taking PEDs. Jones is still the GOAT. TJ Dillashaw doesn't have a legacy, purely based on the way people reacted to them popping for steroids. Annoying, but that's just the way the world is. Also, I find it interesting that Jorge Masvidal is now defending Ariel, the guy who literally tried to bait him into mentioning his prison time that he did when he was in jail. There's a whole other interview about that people had circulating around before, where Ariel was talking about Jorge Masvidal's prison time on ESPN. That needs to be mentioned. You know what I mean? Like, now you're backing this dude. He tried to bait you into talking about your prison time. And then when you said you didn't want to talk about it, he said, well, your dad also did prison time, so let's talk about that. Like, it was a weird thing, but now they're all good. They have a common enemy in Chael Sonnen. Let's see what Masvidal says next.
Friends now. We're friends. Don't worry.
Yeah, but still, he's a punk.
You think I won that debate, right? You think I won that debate?
Ariel desperate to look for a W somewhere. I think he did, because Chael wouldn't admit that Ngannou has now won in hindsight, but didn't at the time that he first left the UFC, perceivably.
Yeah, you definitely won that debate.
Thanks,
and
Jorge.
you know, you can tell you won it. You can tell you won it when the fighter's like, I'm gonna attack you because you can't win with your mouthpiece. So now you gotta resort to violence. Tell that old steroid using motherfucker, come use the violence on me, bro. Tell him to talk like that, bro. You're such a reporter, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he did threaten Ariel, which was a bit lame. But I find it funny to where Masvidal says, you know you lost. I know he was talking about an interview, but when you really look at his words there, you know you lost when you have to resort to violence. You had all the chance to beat up Covington legally, and you got fucking smashed about the cage for 5 rounds other than 1 knockdown, and then you resorted to violence in the street with a sucker punch to the back of the head. So it's kind of interesting. And also, you're old as well. Like, I'm not just trying to defend Chael here, but like, you know what I mean? This is interesting to me. You're like 38 now. Like, let's chill with the old stuff. Okay, Masvidal? But it's interesting that he complained about Chael resorting to violence when that's what he did after losing to Covington. And then, of course, siding with Ariel after Ariel's wronged him before with an interview. And then, you know, I guess being on someone's show just forms that allegiance with them, I guess. But I just found that was interesting. And then calling out Chael for PEDs, which you can call out someone for 100%. Chael was wrong for that, absolutely. He's a dirty cheat, and he'll admit it himself. But then buddy with John Jones every time you meet him. Keep that same energy. Unless you're scared of John Jones. Scared? You don't want to go against him? You know what I mean? Keep that same energy, man. It's all the way or none of the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your support, Jorge.
Fake ass gangster from what the fuck? What is he a gangster for? For fucking tax fraud and shit like that?
Oh, no, this is not.
Fuck this, bro. Fuck.
Fake ass gangster for what? You're a fake gangster for tax fraud and stuff? Dude, I'm telling you right now, my take on this as well. I don't mind Masvidal, by the way. I just didn't like the way he handled losing to Covington and getting bitched in front of the world. But Masvidal used to be one of my favorite fighters. But I'm literally going to say this right now. Being a gangster against the government is way more based than being a gangster against random people. Let's not get into your GTA. You know what I'm saying? That you got in trouble for, which is what Ariel was trying to bring up in that interview. Who did that benefit? That could have been a single mum that was in there. I don't even know what the case was, so I'm going to keep it very vague. Who knows if this is true or not? I'm playing a character when I reference this thing that happened. I'm sure you guys can look it up. Your crimes were against people who did nothing to you. You know what I mean? So I think it's actually more gangster when you do a crime that's against the overlords, the government that you seem to be so against whenever you're at a political rally, than doing it to random people that either had nothing to do with you or that just beat your ass in a cage fight for 25 minutes and then you got salty, so you sucker punched him in the back of the head. Interesting stuff. But we're going to go through Chael's response.
Then I said, fuck you, man.
All right.
I mean, this starts beef. I like this at the end of the day. I'm just making a video out of it and trash talking a bit back to make it fun. But I like this. It made the headlines. It made the rounds. Masvidal, Chael Sonnen in an MMA fight. Bare knuckle coming up soon. I like this. This would be fun. You know what I mean? I'd love to watch this go down. So I think this would be cool. And it's clear that Masvidal's now looking for a fight since he retired from the UFC. So let's get it done, dude. Start some headlines. Get some beef going. And maybe there'll be a fight down the line. Now we're going to go through Chael Sonnen's tweets that he did, which were very, very funny to me. He's done a bunch of responses to this. He did a first wave and then a second wave. Here we go. I'm going to read all of them. Here we go. A+ legit pop. All right. Jorge, if you want to scrap. Oh, wait. Let me scroll over so you can see all of this. There we go. That's much better. Jorge, if you want to scrap, you have to beat one of my students first. Colby, wait, scratch that. Let's stick to things that are possible. So now he's bigging up his boy Colby in the response. Then he goes, are you allowed to kick with the leg that's wearing the house arrest ankle monitor? Which is another interesting comeback for him. Masvidal, I do want some. Just trying to be clear on a few regulatory matters. Is your corner going to give you a prison juice box instead of water? No man bun. He also says no man bun allowed. I guess he's getting through the regulatory matters before the fight goes down. George, can you travel out of state without air marshals Can you travel out of state without air marshals shackling you to a hand dolly like Hannibal Lecter? Interesting one there as well. Am I the last person you turned on or just the latest? Chael coming out with some bars here. This would be in a rap. I bet you this would be in a rapper's video or a rapper's song in the next year or so, some of these bars. How many of your texts, such a stupid word, texts to me asking for help because you're dull and unfunny should I release? Is a dozen enough? Release them! I'm sick of all this. Shall I bring up receipts? Just empty the receipts. We're all waiting for him. Do the receipts. Release the receipts. Like, I'm sick of all this. Shall I release this that I know behind the scenes? He just called you all that he just called you. Unload them. If Masvidal was really begging you on like how to promote himself a little bit better in the behind the scenes of the MMA world, unload him now. I want to see him on Twitter. That'd be so funny to see if he really was asking for advice. Because I know a lot of fighters do ask Chael for promotional advice. And if Masvidal did, then he can't call Chael a fake and a phony. Because that was Masvidal's whole thing about Covington, is that he's a fake. I'm real. I'm really about this life. Covington's just faking it for the promotion. And if he actually asked Chael for help, that's his old shtick done. It's another good one. Did you go to a Miami car shop to have them pull the dent Kamaru Usman put in your face out? On a related note, shouldn't they just have replaced your entire face? Interesting. Interesting one there from Chael again. Very interesting. We've got more that he goes into as well. This is an advert of Oxford Library. Lastly, a word of advice. Don't be two-faced. It means next time you fight, you're going to have 4 black eyes instead of the usual 2. Another absolute slam dunk from Chael there as well. Dude, Chael must have like a notes page on his phone full of these, I think. Now, beat it. Ever. Don't you ever piss off a gangster. Chael Sonnen now beat it. Channeling his inner Michael Jackson there. Not in a Pat Barry way. Sad once won the BMF belt. Now getting puppeteered by a rich guy who wears Hulk Hogan pajamas. Busted down suitcase. All right, then. True about Ariel. If you're a WWE fan over the age... I think Chael's a WWE fan, by the way. So I don't know if he can be pointing fingers here. I think if you're a WWE fan in any way, over the age of 40 or 30, or even 20, like, you should have to alert the neighborhood that you've moved in. I really think that should have to be a thing. I don't trust you with my kids. If I have kids and the person babysitting them is an adult WWE fan, I'll stay home for the night and look after my own kids. You know what I'm saying? Once won the BMF belt, now getting puppeted by a rich guy who wears Hulk Hogan pajamas. Busted down suitcase. I don't know what the last thing is. Went from being the man nobody wants to fight to the man nobody trusts. I just think Chael's on one right now, dude. He's like racing around at night in his car, just fucking stimmed up on test, you know? And if anyone goes after him, he's just unload. He's ready to just absolutely unload. He was one more insult from Masvidal away from threatening to strangle him, I reckon. Chael's playing no games right now, and he's back in relevancy like he never left. The man nobody trusts is an interesting one. There's more. Ran out of guys to get beat up by. Now pretending to want a beating from the man you idolized. I want to see those messages that he was sending to Chael. I really want to see those messages. Ran out of guys to get beat up by, now pretending to want to beat him from the man you idolized. Why not go into WWE? Have your new best buddy get you in. Oh, wait, they didn't want him over there. So now apparently we're seeing Masvidal wants to be in a WWE. They didn't let him get into it. I don't know. I want to see the messages, Chael. That's what the main thing needs to come out of this video. Give us the receipts. I'm sick of hearing about the receipts. Let us see the receipts. That's what I want to see. Maybe get a gig with the Miami Heat. Your puppet master has connects at the NBA. Scratch that. They didn't want him either. So he's just unloading everything of information that he has. Masvidal, lucky for the man. Oh, God, dude. I love the Ariel roasts. Masvidal, lucky for the man, Dana White reduced to human rubble. Whenever he types in titles, I hear it in his voice. Human rubble. Ever. Piss off a gangster. Masvidal, lucky for the man, Dana White reduced to human rubble. Maybe get on a goon squad working for a villain who doesn't spend so much time sobbing. Bad look for you. Unloaded a bunch of insults. My personal highlights was the little dig at Ariel Helwani here. Another highlight was when he said, get the dent that Usman put in your head removed. Was another one. The nobody trusts one was a bit lame, I'm going to be honest. Getting puppeteered by a rich guy who wears Hulk Hogan pajamas was good. Very good. The This is based. Lastly, a word of advice. Don't be two-faced. It means the next time you fight, you're going to have 4 black eyes instead of the usual 2. That's not bad. That's a great bar right there. An absolutely great bar. And this one is the ultimate one. Did you go to a Miami car shop to have them pull the dent Kamaru Usman putting your face out? On a related note, shouldn't they just have replaced your entire face? How many of your... I want to see these, dude. I want to see these. Chael, if you're watching this video, I know you've seen the channel now and again. Dude, you've got to release these. We need to see them. Us as fans of MMA need to see these, dude. They absolutely need to see these. Other than that, the only other highlight was can't travel out of state and the Covington dig as well. Jorge, if you want to scrap, you have to beat one of my students first. Colby. Never mind, I guess. See you later, guys. Toodle pip. On another note, Masvidal is out of... I don't know what happened. I don't think he's going to serve any jail time, though, because rich people don't go to jail. It feels like these days they can just do whatever they want and nothing happens to him. What a great system. There you go. So, Chael, release the receipts. We all want to see him. Let's get this beef a bit more. And maybe, just maybe, at the end of the day, we get a massive, fun matchup on a random card. The return of Chael Sonnen. The return of Jorge Masvidal against each other. I'm down. Ariel can be the ref. And then when the bell starts, they both just go for Ariel. That's the ideal circumstance. See you later. Thank you for watching. And goodbye.